You know you have as much memorabilia as Batman.
Just give me the ice cream.
So where'd you get the footage?
So the Oracle system is connected to Jason's helmet.
Huh.
You get to see the craziest of things through his comlink.
Is that the Court of Owls?
Yeah.
Should we help?
Nah.
How are you feeling?
Okay.
Ready to begin my mission.
Holy crap.
Good.
Is that Nightwing?
Hello and welcome back to Brickle. My name is Brittany and today we have a very special guest to discuss the Red Hood fan series, and it is Georgianos! So the Red Hood fan series is a web series on YouTube that you can watch right now.
We may talk about spoilers. There will definitely be spoilers.
There will definitely be spoilers. I'm probably just going to cut that bit out now and use that.
Yep.
So if you haven't watched it, if you haven't watched this fan series, check out the description below and you will find a link to their YouTube site and you can watch it, have fun, come on back, or if you like spoilers, keep watching. But before we get into it, let's get to know our guest, Georgia Rose. So, a Brisbane cosplayer. And I know we kind of look at Hot Glue so you can get a bit more backstory. How'd you get into it, cosplay?
Best friend introduced me in high school.
So you've been doing it a few years, that's about 6 years now.
Well, I took a long break. Like, after the first time I cosplayed, I wanted to start making costumes, but because I was in high school, and I didn't have my own machine, I bought a bunch of fabric and a few wigs, but then didn't really touch it until the first year of uni. And then I was sitting there and one day I was like, you know what? I think I want to make a Wonder Woman.
What's the latest you're up to?
I'm currently making Black Widow, her classic comic version.
But this series is about DC superheroes, and you've got a few DC superheroes, or villains, I guess, one of them being Black Canary, which is awesome. But this series didn't have a lot of female DC characters.
No, it didn't. I didn't mind that. I think it was like a good group. Like, it didn't feel like they were necessarily missing any of the main characters in that group. I find a lot of like the DC characters clustered together, so I felt like it was fitting. It'd be nice to see more women, but I don't mind it.
And with a fan series, you kind of get what you're given, who's free, who can make it, who has the appropriate costume as well. So when it comes to costume, which is very interesting, they've taken some liberties with the Batgirl. So she has it's purple like Stephanie Brown, but kind of a bit Huntress inspired as well, it looks like. And we were discussing before some of your thoughts on that. So what were you thinking about this character?
I wasn't really sure, because there's the Bat family there, and they have a little bit of a flirt between Red Hood and maybe Batgirl. But then it ties in with the rest of the show where like he has a son to Huntress. So it was kind of like a little conflicting, like, is this Batgirl or is this Huntress? Because there's that kind of romantic connection, flirting, or like, is this just an additional love interest sort of thing?
Yeah. Which I thought was really cool, because if you look back into the comics in No Man's Land, Huntress, who is Helena Bertinelli in those comics, she actually does take up the mantle of Batgirl, but is then stripped of that title from Batman, who doesn't like her methods, which, I mean, coming from Batman, that's saying something. So it's interesting that I didn't think of this, but it's a fascinating connection and a fan theory, I guess a fan theory for a fan series, where you could imagine, well, that really, if it was the Huntress of that world wearing the Batgirl costume and the potential lead up to the fact that he had a child, was it Colin? Colin, yeah. Oh, gosh, that kid was cute.
He was, oh my god, and it like broke my heart, and he almost went back to him, and it was like, I just want a happy ending, but like,
what can you do?
It means the series gets to continue, doesn't it? Yeah.
And they've done a really solid story here and a good idea where in the first season, it's kind of given this idea that the Black Mask is the big bad. But then there's a bit of a swap at the finale where it's the Court of Owls. And they are quite a formidable they are quite a formidable foe to Batman and the Bat family. Do we want them to do a similar thing if they get to do season 3? Do we want them to bring in another higher up villain, or wrap it, try and tie up the loose ends on Court of Owls?
I think I prefer when you wrap up a villain and don't try and like bring them back too often. Yeah, I sort of prefer that rather than jumping to and from. I would like to see the Black Hood come back.
The Black Mask?
Black Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cool name for a villain. Someone should pick that. Is that
Black
a villain?
Hood is in Riverdale.
Oh my gosh, he is
I know.
too. I don't watch Riverdale, no!
I haven't stayed up to date with all 3 seasons, even though it's getting really weird.
It's so weird. But we have the villain, we have Black Mask, then we go to the Court of Owls. They're not shown too much, and they seem to be quite inactive. It's really left to the heroes, and really the evil Red Hood as well. He's pretty...
Yeah.
That was pretty twisty.
I was
In the words of
like,
Ryan Reynolds.
what is going on? And they don't really like explain it yet. I'm excited. I really
Yeah.
hope there gets to be a few more seasons.
Because at first you get the idea of, well, our Red Hood, our Jason Todd, is being sent to a parallel universe. So I was thinking, well, it's just the Red Hood from another universe. I mean, the other Bat family seems to get what's going on. But then it seems that they are clones or twins from the conversation that the Master or the Grand Master Court of Owls had with Nightwing.
Oh my god.
Did your brain just explode?
Something just connected. So I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't jump to this point right now. But 7, when
Yeah.
one of the Robins,
Damien?
Damien, is in like the hospital and he won't take off his mask and it's an owl mask and he has a very similar build, and in my brain I was like, this has to be a clone. This definitely has to be a clone. But how crazy would it be if it sort of connects to there being a bad Red Hood?
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's actually very smart because they've pick and chosen what they pulled from the comics. And I think it's in New 52 or Rebirth, one of the more recent ones, where Nightwing actually does go undercover with Court of Owls.
Oh.
So he's there and he pretends to be their Talon. Do you know about the whole Talons and stuff? It's like they're warriors, the Court of Owls, assassins and warriors and stuff. Court of Owls have been around since day dot for Gotham, which I think would be really interesting if, and what I think they're trying to do, is replacing the higher members of society in Gotham, and then they gain control of Gotham again.
By cloning them?
By cloning them.
Oh.
So you're replacing the Bat family. I would imagine that this continues out to other higher members of society, maybe Black Mask, which would be really cool. Another funny thing, it's a bit of a loose comic book connection, I guess, are the comic book crossovers. What did you think of Power Rangers?
At first I was like, am I watching the same show? But
Yeah.
but it tied in quite nicely.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really fun little like extra episode. It doesn't really add too much to the story, but it was enjoyable.
And those kids, they have their own YouTube channel. I think it's called Ninja Kids. So they actually know how to fight, which is a difficult thing to do when you're doing a short film or a fan series of that kind. It's finding people who, in this case, it looks like they were going for the costumes, which are phenomenal. And then the choreographed fight scenes were always very fantastic, I found, in this series. They did them very well. And acting is very difficult when you don't have any training. You think it'd be quite easy to jump in front of a camera and go for it. But it can be quite intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I don't have anyone behind the camera. So I don't have to worry about embarrassing myself because I get to choose what gets the cut.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've done the best of what they got, and they've done really well. They've got some great fight scenes. They've pulled out some pretty emotional scenes with Colin and Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Jason Todd, played by Ian Lang, who is also the producer and writer for a lot of the episodes. He's got his hand in so many pots.
He does.
Now, would you back me in saying if we didn't get Jensen Ackles as Red Hood in a live action, would you want him? I really like Ian Lang.
I do really enjoy him. Okay, I found the first season to be more of like a prequel, like, tester. But once you get into the second season, his, like, one-liners and acting and the fighting, it just improves, like, tenfold. It's awesome.
I completely agree with that. I would even go a step further and say season 1, season finale is where they really picked up, because the dialogue and the banter between Tim and Jason is hilarious. The simple thing of, that's sharp when a hatchet gets thrown at Red Hood. Red Hood's like, yeah, I know, kid, I know. I think even Damien in the second season, they got the lines to fit him a lot better and make them more natural, because Damien is meant to be kind of brutal and kind of,
Yeah.
a bit spoiled.
He was a little conflicting in the first season. Like, sometimes he was very, like, proper, and then other times he was very bratty. Very bratty.
But at the same time, that's what Damien is like.
Yeah, but it wasn't, like, mixed together. And I think they improved that. But in the first season, I found it a little bit, like, jarring, because it was, like, two very different personalities, and it would switch between scenes. Whereas I think season 2, it's sort of blended together better.
Absolutely. It did. Season 2 was a fantastic investigation of these Robins and these characters. And we have that wonderful extra character at the very end, whom everybody loves, and this time bearded. We get ourselves a bearded Nightwing.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
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 So that guy's name is Danny, and he is from a YouTube channel called Isma Hawk. ISMA Hawk. Have you seen any of those videos?
I haven't.
They're very good. They're along the similar lines of built by fans for fans, and they're kind of they're battles between characters across Marvel and DC and things like that. They've been a little bit quiet for the past few months. It's like Bat in the Sun. It's this wonderful kind of like subgenre on YouTube where people get to showcase their fantastic cosplays, and they get these amazing showdowns and these battles across fandoms.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they pulled this guy from Isma Hawk to play Nightwing, and he did this one, I think it's Daredevil versus Nightwing. That's one of their videos. And he's just one of those people who fit the role. It's fantastic. Like this Ian Lang with Red Hood. So I just want to see them act together.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I want to see more of that, because I can tell that I reckon Ian Lang has some acting history, or at least some teaching in that sense. And with the history of Danny from Isma Hawk, to me that's a perfect combination for a fan series. Now, your specialty is costuming.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the costumes?
I was in love with them. I don't think there was any costume that I was like, that's not made. Like, it all looked like it was functional, and the colors and the fabrics and the designs. I loved when Red Hood gets the older suit from the other
white suit, yeah.
The white one. That was awesome.
It's very clever how they incorporated the suit change, and even the idea that, although I don't think the second world that he went to, he does ask, are you Tim Drake, to this Red Robin? And well, wouldn't you like to know, is the response. So they might be different people in the Robin costume. You never know. You don't know the history of those. But they found a way to incorporate different costumes of the same character.
Yeah.
That is what I find is fascinating, though, because costumes do make the character. As soon as I saw the samurai swords in the back of the third planet, or the third world's Red Hood, I was looking at those swords in the back and going, you're not Jason Todd, that's Slade. Slade has swords in the back. And it's fascinating how iconic suit pieces and costuming, even when it's a completely different helmet, other colours can just call back to another character.
Yeah.
But in the cosplay world, is it common? Do you find it common to merge characters like that? To have these like creative freedoms to do like powers combined?
There is actually a whole like subcategory of people crossing different characters. So sometimes it'll be like crossing DC and Marvel. So you might have Miss Marvel crossed with Wonder Woman. And
That'd be cool.
You can see like where they've pulled colors or different parts of the outfit. They do try and like pair them up to be similar like shapes sort of thing, so that you can sort of like pick and choose between how you mash them together, I guess.
Almost like Lego, so you're able to incorporate different pieces by not altering it, but just wearing them together. Is that sort of it?
Wearing them together and maybe changing the color scheme. I think you'd really enjoy some of that.
Well, I know that it's also in the comics where Marvel and DC have cross paths, like Batman and Wolverine. That always looked really cool. Have you seen those?
No.
That's your homework.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm like imagining it.
Pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
It's great. One thing outside of the entertainment that we've been given, and it is a great series. You can really see the love and the dedication that the creators have put into this, and how it's a labor of love. But it goes beyond the screen in that you look at their vlogs at Comic-Cons and stuff, and it's built a community around this series that people enjoy it and they recognize Jason Todd or Ian Lang. And what I wanted to ask is, have you seen how these projects, do they change the community? Do you find that cosplay or videos meet you with different people you never thought you would meet?
Definitely. I think in like the way that their fan series, like they've done it at such a level that other fans, even if they don't cosplay, can appreciate it on like a similar level to watching like Arrow or I can't
Flash?
think. Yeah, Flash. I don't know. I was big into.
I mean,
Arrow.
there's like a Birds of Prey series as well we can throw out there, but I don't think anyone remembers that one.
Did that
I
happen?
need to introduce you to this series.
Oh my god.
I need to introduce everyone to this series. But yeah, how do you find that these new ways of entertainment and crafting, like cosplay, how do you find that creates new communities and connections that we probably wouldn't have had, I don't know, however many years ago?
So you're asking how cosplay creates a community?
Even just creates friendships you probably never would have had before. Because like
Like ours?
personally, yeah, like ours. Personally, I wouldn't have, through my own video and documentary, I would never have met The Fortress. Through them, I would never have met Zack Meerkats. Oh gosh, I feel horrible. I would never have met Zack.
Yeah.
And through Zack, I would never have met, what's his girlfriend's name? Nat. She has some beautiful cosplays.
Radioactive Red Fox.
And she's just got her pilot license. That's insane.
Oh, she's amazing.
You learn so much more. I just feel like I've learnt not just about this, like through cosplay and through entertainment and media. Not only have I learnt more about those things, I've learnt more about people and how fascinating people's interests are.
I find it really interesting, like, I've met Nat and Zack and The Fortress in like a different...
And it was at this moment she realized she done stuffed up Aaron.
link to what you had.
Sorry, I just nearly dropped my coffee. But yes, continue.
So like, I'm pretty sure I met Nat first before she was with Zack. And then I think I met The Fortress. And The Fortress and Nat both had connections to Zack, and it was like a bringing together of a bunch of people. It is really interesting how that happens. And like my first group of cosplay friends already had all these connections to other cosplayers, and you meet one person and then you know a whole nother group of cosplayers, and everyone, because most of them have like very different ranges of outfits, so you will have DC and Marvel and anime and movies and everything.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're really just crossing fandoms. What may have been like, I don't know, a forum online for superheroes or a fan meeting for DC Comics or something has now become what sounds like to me a wider community that isn't just crossing for one fandom, but it sounds like a domino effect where people are meeting people, and it's creating like a fantastic network of nerdom.
It is. And then like someone will have an idea and they'll like reach out to their friend, and their friend will reach out to their community, and then like that's how these fan series happen. It's an awesome little spider web of a community.
That's such a great way to describe it, spider web of community. And I feel like through this awesome, and I've used this words before, but this labor of love, the Red Hood series is really creating a new bubble in that community. It's creating a new way for people to connect and to really just get to know each other and enjoy something on common ground, which is something we kind of need nowadays, something to enjoy and be happy about and passionate about. And I think that the creators of the Red Hood series should be really proud of that.
Absolutely. It gives you a show to love, and people that you can talk to and relate to a lot easier than like actual actors that get paid for bigger productions. It gives you something that like you can love wholeheartedly, and you can meet and talk to Ian Lang or any of the other actors.
Okay guys, that was our review and discussion of the Red Hood fan series. As you can see, it really is a wonderful labor of love. It has connected people who probably would never have met before, and even has like created connections across YouTube channels. You know, we've experienced as well how an entertainment media like this can create a friendship. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Georgia Rose. You can find her on Instagram. And if you are in Australia, I'm sure they can find you at a convention somewhere.
Yes. Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast. It's more that I'm doing. And that is at JAW. No.
Yes.
Yes? at JAW. I'm gonna let you spell it.
JAWJARROST.
You know, I could probably just put up the title and then we wouldn't have
Georgia Rose.
Once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brittany, this is Georgia, and you have been watching Brit Girl. I think we could do a conclusion now.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to do it so we flip you over the back? And we just get rid of you that way? That's it, I'm back to my...
I'll just leave.
I'll just leave. Okay, bye.
Bye.
You dying?
I sat on the box. Bye. Bye.
What's in the box? In the box. What's in the box?
Who's behind Brittany's couch today?
You know, actually, now that you're back there, I'll probably need to get you back so we can do a nice conclusion.
A rainbow then. Over my head.
I'm gonna edit that.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Do you know I never
Brittany.
do that? I never do like, comment,
Why?
subscribe. Because I feel like they already know what to do. Why should I tell them?
You already know to do that, really?
Guys, you guys are smart. I mean, maybe I'll get more comments.
Exactly.
Okay, do what Georgia told you to do.
You better comment.